Welcome to
Right on.
the show, and welcome to a longer ride of a Zone 2 ride, powered by BMR or 3R. Is it, sorry, I think it's 3R, the 3R team. I don't even know the route. I just jammed in here in hopes I can hang, and it's not too quick for me. So looks like France to me. Hundred kilometers. Are we gonna do 100? I don't know about this. Let's see. He will put me in trouble here, this guy. So these rides are phenomenal for getting a feel of for the draft, for group dynamics, for how to approach a riser and speeding up into the riser without exhausting yourself. So it's phenomenal. Good community builder too. Lots of chatter here all the time. So there will be most likely some dropouts every, like, I don't know, milestones, 25k, 50k for sure, 80k or 60k, something like that. And then everybody will do 100k. 100k is a lot. I think it's like 2.5 hours of riding, I feel. Let's see. quite honest, these guys are traveling pretty quick here, 40 clicks. A little bit like going downhill, but I think like, no, it flattens out. It's been a minute for sure, Stefan. Been a minute. Badge hunters, okay. I'll probably have to go then for this one. It is some kind of like difficult, a different batch. Like 2/3. Okay, that would mean 75k. I mean, if we keep flying like this here with 40 clicks plus, that should be doable. I think Steel de Bleu or something, what's it called? I don't know exactly what that means. I think it's I don't know, maybe like 2 loops around Three Musketeer or something. Oh yeah, that actually is the name of it. Just Red to Come, okay. Come on, what is it? Bleu, something bleu. The comment has to go away. Sacre Bleu. Sacre Bleu. Okay. Come on. Sometimes my controllers that just disconnect from Bluetooth. I hang in the wind. This happens in race scenarios where it's decisive. I'm gonna go out and cry a little bit. Let's see what's in these bottles, what I mixed up here. Good one. You used to have 0 or 6, most likely 0, but would be great if 6 people turned in, see what I'm up to. Sacre bleu. Let's find out what it is. $71K. Okay. I may or may not have it. Most likely I have it, but I don't know. Maybe it's a new batch. You never know. Yes, Arco Series is on. Chasing Red, Swiss Alps. Shout out to Chart and Tom, who are battling it out for the coalition team, which are directly connected to me. Otherwise, there are like a few other coalition members in there. They're rocking it too. And it's a pace I can get behind. Getting these little bumps moving up in the group is a feel you need to develop. And yes, yeah, don't hit the front. one I would prefer to feather if you have it. Yes! Feather is on board. Okay. I think I'm doing a little. I'm double checking maybe my mic is too loud. For the fans, it's an art to direct the fans in a way that, yeah, maybe the microphone is not really like directly hit by it, but I don't know. I need that fuzzy thing. Let me know. I think so far it's okay, but obviously can always be better. Sound quality is important. You want to hear it huffing and puffing loud and clear, so that the pain is healable, sealable, feelable. How do you feel about that? I don't know. Fans is activated. Okay, let's hit the power here. The feather. Stitch it together. That's what it's called, stitching. Bringing back the pack from the back and filling in the gaps. Lambert says, right on, you got it, buddy. Let's find a draft here. What's going on? Sean, bravo, bravo. Thanks for coming in, man. No, sure, sorry, it's Sam. It's Sam. Sam Gosling. Is it like you're related to Ryan Gosling? I know you get that probably a lot. Sorry about that. No, take it as a compliment if you want. Yeah, I think as soon as Ryan Gosling comes onto the TV, I think the TV gets a little bit softer, my wife says. You're right. Kids softer. So easy looking, huh? He's like sad eyes all the time. I know about it, but all good. Okay with that? switch it again? No, I don't. That means I would have to burn my arrow here. But I can do that a little. Let's be friendly. Stefan is coming anyways with the crew. Here we go. Let's go. Stefan says, come back. Otherwise, fan stays on. I feel I should have gotten a sniffer. My wife has a. Come on. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Audio input mix. Okay. Just double checking my thing. My mic catches other sound bites here as well. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if it's good, Sam. If you enjoy this one here, stick around. Or you long gone? Not sure. You let me know. Frame that. This with bike. Looks like a Parallel or something. Right inside with the disc wheel. I'll find out, and it is seatbelt. I think it's called Pinarello. Auto carrot. don't know which window is actually gone. The one on the left hand side tells me which zone I'm in. Don't lick the pants. Yeah. Oh, Stefan is dropping hard. What's up, man? Oh, here. I know why I call the Berlin Wall the Berlin Wall. I mean, seriously, look at it. The graffiti on it. Yeah, I know it's a bridge or something, but looks like the Berlin Wall. Thanks for the ride on. Riz Racing, Buzz Racing. June. What's up, June and July? Movie. Let's talk movies. Very excited. Formula One. Brad Pitt. I think it's the final hurrah of him. Let's see about that. And then we have Jurassic Park. Re-Evolution or something. Oh, I love it as a kid. Never gets old. I know the story is hard to continue, but there's always another island. They had some other like little laps, dinosaurs on, and obviously they all broke up. The coffee shop is open. You bet. Bring it on. What are we serving? 3-hour oat milk latte. Oh, people like getting at it right away. Oh. I will do that coffee on the Vidact and get myself the tissues from the back. And then we do some exercise. Squats, let's see how this all works together. Gonna be a good one. We go complete. 120 in the can. It's early Wednesday. We got this one covered. $20K gone. So we in it to win it. Or in it to just like cycle around, stay in the draft, and enjoy the ride. Get the kilometers in, get the drops in. Unfortunately, I don't have a bike to upgrade here on this one, as this is good mileage. But it will help my Zone 2 foundation to make this happen, as I feel it's beneficial to get that underneath my belt. Do once in a while some longer rides for sure, steady long rides. And that will help. And in group ride, staying close to the beacon, to the yellow guy. Most of the time, will provide you with the most efficient draft. Right now, I'm enjoying 102 watts savings. You can see that savings on that little like table on the left here. What everybody says, and I'm killing it. 92 is great. So staying maybe like third, fourth wheel is where you want to be to get a maximum draft on that kind of speed. It's kind of doing one of your TT rides, and you just like finished your turn, you're going back to the group, depends how many riders you have, 3, 5, or 6. You just line up, keep it tight. The last position or last like 2 positions really benefit the most. They're saying 2.5, which is fine. I think some people pushing that, maybe at the front, but if you do it smart, I think you get away with 2 or 2.2, just hanging a draft, so it's way more enjoyable, or let's say manageable over 100 kilometers. And for my friend Colin, that is 80 miles. Or 60, I don't even know. Or 75, something in there. Something in between, let's say that. It's a long time. That's probably your best one. That's probably your best joke. There's a technique you can train here on these like rides. It's called dangling off the back. So you dangle maybe like 2 meters behind the group, which should be again a very efficient draft position. So check it out for yourself. It works on races very well in group bikes like that. I believe so too. If the group dynamic is not set up differently. We're gonna wait a little bit the cobbles here after that corner, right hand corner. And we're gonna activate our power draft van. Here we go. 140 watts, you don't do anything here. Cutting through the piles on here. Beauty. Now we give it a little bit of a notch. Arrow boost 27 clicks. Nothing will happen here in a big way, but still fun. I want to get in there. One in the middle. I like it nice and cozy in the middle. Very hard to ride in a Tour de France or in a bigger group as you clipped in, but I feel this position at Zwift is the ideal position. You're surrounded by everybody. So the only move you can do is forward, accelerating up. I get people like to ride on here. Just a little bit of a ride on. Get that all covered. Think about always accelerate in the valley down before you race up the riser, because the speed will carry you through the group. You will have an advantage coming out of it. Yeah, if you want to suffer, you can go with the reds, which is I think 3.2 watts per kilo instead of 2.5 over 100. That is something, I tell you. The struggle is real here. Be aware of these like little zigzags, snaky roads. There are risers and there are two risers, actually three free riser, sorry. Watching racing now really can surprise you. I think I got more covered now. Hopkins. Thanks for the ride on Hopkins. Here we go. Stay tight, guys. Yes, no gaps. That's detrimental in the race. If there's slingshot effect, up and down, it's a tricky area here. So I know why people push here to cause something, which may or may not makes you drop. Oh, we're losing somebody. There you have it. One time, not paying attention, and you're out the back. You got it, buddy. You got it. pickle juice if you have a cramp, and drink some water. That's kind of my running workout for the Ironman. Oh, this is like the stepper. Sammy, how you doing, man? How you doing? Thanks for chatting in here. Are you saying hi, or are you saying a hill? Because I don't see any hills here on my profile so far. But let me know. Let me know. I have a featherized power up just in case. Next to me is riding one of these Hilo bikes. I think it's the specialized version. Look at this one. Pinarello. I probably would get the specialized one. Looks the most epic. Looks like the one with the roller plates. It looks funny. Oh, you get it because nobody has it. No merger, nobody get bought or sold here. As we are riding it out here, 64k. I actually don't know if I'm gonna go the whole distance. Let's see how I feel. That means now 2 hours of riding. At this pace here, I don't know. 245, I would say. Let's see how I feel after the break, okay? Yeah, he's saying what break? There's a coffee break. I think you get one every hour. Kenny, what's your question? Does this have simulated drafting? I mean, there's drafting is in effect. You see on the left-hand side on the table, the last column on your right, it says the wattage number, 46 or 50 right now for me. That's the wattage I'm saving sitting in the draft. If we get faster, I'm staying in a draft, this number gets higher. 145 right now. If I would be in the wind in the front, I would have to push 145 watts more. So hopefully that answers your question. Depends where you are in a group, you get certain draft numbers counted for. And yeah, if you have more people in front of you, close proximity, you have a better draft. I would recommend being third or fourth wheel. You still have a good sense of what's going on in the front. I think optimal draft and staying in the middle, as I'm right now. I think 160, you cannot get better. So look at the numbers here. I'm okay, but gonna keep on the power. Now we're rising up. And I stayed on the power a little bit too long. I'm drafting further forward and hitting more the wind. So the goal is to be the highest number on the right column. That would be great. Yeah, the guy in the very front is doing the work. And the second guy is doing like 75%. The third guy is 60%. And after that, you're only doing 40% of the work. So, the farther you are back, the better it is. But it's not like that you're riding 100% in a draft. It doesn't exist, but 3 to 4 wheels back, I would say is the best position to get the most efficient draft. But yeah, the people who are in the front, having their nose in the wind, the wind gets hit the most, they have to overcome the resistance of the wind. That's what the draft is all about. Right now I have no draft, there's nobody in front of me, so I have to push the power. 240 watts, 250 watts. Yeah, that hurts over a long time. So I want to stay further back. My power drops to, I would say 200. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 200-ish. 180 I comfortable keep up with the guys. I'm saving 60 watts right now. So yeah. You see that little like right at the bottom on the right of my avatar, there's a little like gauge. In the gauge you see the power number, the wattage, 170-ish watts right now I'm pushing. The number above 118 is my pulse. That puts me in zone 2. And underneath the 85 watts are the savings I have riding in the position I'm in right now in the group. If I tuck myself a little bit further in here, probably get better savings. I don't have to push that hard. You got it. You got it. So the device you are using to track your paddling, does this change the resistance automatically depending on gradient? Yes, for this one for sure. Not on a draft. So the draft is just hard to simulate for the trainer. I'm on a smart trainer. My wheel is plugged into it, and that is connected to my computer. And the trainer communicates with the software. And the software right now will give me more resistance onto the trainer, onto my paddles, because we're going uphill right now. And this is how it accumulates my speed, or calculates my speed. The draft will move my avatar forward quicker or not so quick, depends if I have draft or not, compared to other people in the group. You can apply some power-ups here. You see people have like a drafting band, the little helmet, or the feather. The feather will make you lighter because you have to tell the software that you are a certain weight. That weight will be calculated into your speed as well, because heavier people need more power to go up here, that ramp, than lighter people. It's a power to weight ratio, watts per kilogram, how we have it. And you see that number on the right hand side here. I'm right now pushing 1.9, 2.2, 2.3. I have to push here because I'm a little bit heavier than the other guys. Tell you that most of the time, compared to like the better cyclists. However, the heavier guys like me have an advantage going downhill. Gravity plays in my favor, as if you have two bolts going down a steep hill and you let them go at the same time, the heavier one will roll quicker down the mountain than the lighter one. It's just gravity. So yeah, using these rollers, I have to use them smart to get an advantage. To, for example, now where it goes from 0 to -%, I can push it a little bit and I will get more speed, and it will, as you see now on the riser, will help me to go through the group slightly without even pushing like super crazy, okay? Now I'm at the top, I let go, I coast over it, and that's how it's done. How realistic is it? So say in a real life you are on a 5% gradients. Does it feel similar to this game simulation training tool? Whatever you call this. Fair question. Fair question. So the trainer, it's up to your trainer, because the trainer will put resistance onto your bike, onto your pedals, which will simulate a resistance based on the graphics you have in the game. If it's steep, it will put a resistance on your pedals of something which simulates maybe 5% if you're going up a 5% gradient based on the game landscape, okay? You see the gradients actually at the top right. Right now it's 4% in the mini map, and then there's -2. When we go down here, this one are like little risers, and yeah, they hurt a little, so you get slight resistance more on the trainer. 5% is actually pretty accurate. Most of the trainers are able to simulate between 17 and 23% gradient. After that, it's hard for the trainers to simulate that, because most of them are like working with magnets to put that spinning wheel onto pressure, which you have to drive, or they have like breakers, which is more like a physical kind of like resistance. So I would say, yeah, it's pretty accurate compared to real world. As I mean, it's proven by pro cyclists. They're using this software here. It's called Zwift. There are other softwares out there, don't get me wrong. Tacx has one. There's one called Whoosh, and some other softwares. But I feel this one is the most fun one, in my opinion. Graphics are good, numbers are good, workouts are great, racing is great. So yeah, Zwift is just fun, nothing else. If you want to go super competitive, you can do that here too, but you know, everybody has their own kind of like ways of racing, and there's no real organization who controls or checks everybody who's racing on elite level, or like semi-pros and so on. Yeah, but it's fun, I tell you that. Try it out. You probably have a bike at home, hopefully. You can have a smart trainer where you can click in your bike in the back, or you get one of these other more. It's a more big investment. Yeah. Zwift has its own hardware. Go on Zwift.com. You will check it out. They have the bikes you want, probably, or the other like trainers. It's called the Watt bike. Watt bike. I think there are probably other like Tacx has another bike as well, where you can ride this software on. Yeah, it's tons of options. But to be more versatile, I would highly recommend getting a smart trainer and your bike, because you get both worlds. You get the outdoor bike, just dismount the back wheel, put it into the trainer, and Bob is your uncle. And if you want right outside with the same setup, same bike, just plug in that wheel and like hit the mountain in real life. That's how I do it. That's how I do my Ironmans. Same bike right now. Even though I'm trying to convert this bike into my second bike, as the sweat you're putting onto the frame works into the brakes and cracks and nannies, and sweat is very aggressive. It really eats away your carbon fiber or your aluminium. It could break your bike. So maybe you have a dedicated Zwift bike for indoors. Keep it clean, you'll be fine. This bike is 15 years old. I'm still rocking it in both worlds, but it's on its last leg, I tell you that. questions. Love it. Appreciate enthusiasm here today. So I will. It is very interesting. I love it. You get hooked because it has a system where you can collect badges, upgrade your gear, your avatars, your appearance, and so on. It gets you hooked for sure. And the side effect is you get fit. You do it right. I have to get a tissue in the back of the room, so I will do a little trick shot here. Where's my mouse? Right here. Right. Yes, please do that. But I think I have to be with the group in order to do that. Let's go right from here. Okay. You hold me here, guys. Don't drop me. So what's cool at Zwift, you can do a little bit of a coffee stop, they call it, to grab stuff you might forgot, change your kit. I've heard people taking showers during that. All doable, be organized. I actually trying to spike my quads a little bit more. See if I activate them. Okay. Okay, let's get ready for the next stint. We just called a coffee break. Hi, Melon. I'm great. I just after a question from Kenny. Kenny, your question. So I imagine on this software, which is called Zwift, I tell you, there's a friendly competitions And there is, yeah, friendly and unfriendly if you want. And he said the hardware matters. Some people cheat by having hardware that doesn't give the correct resistance. I mean, like, I'm not a cheater. I have what I have here, it's a smart train and a bike. But I can imagine if you, for example, have an electric bike plugged in, that's hardware where you would cheat. I can see that it's possible, but I tell you that Zwift will give you a power analysis. So let's see exactly how much power you put in. And if you put in, let's say, 200 watts consistently, it will show a graph and it will be a flat line, and it probably tells other people this guy cheated because he didn't put out the power. That electric motor, which is very consistent, puts out exactly 200 watts. It doesn't look human, because the human, even if I try to like be exact on 200, I will be like dipping between 198 and 202 the best if I'm good. But there will be variation. Motor is just straight 200, and yeah, there will be some cheating. Cheating more is probably weight doping. People putting different weights in. They make themselves lighter to be up the mountain quicker on mountain stages. Maybe even the opposite. They're doing heavier to be quicker going downhill. In terms of weight doping, different hardware, different smart trainers or trainers have different calibrations. The Tacx Neo I have calibrates itself, but there are some trainers you have to calibrate them every like, I don't know, a month, 2 or like 6 months to measure the exact wattage you put out. In competitive racing, which is available on Zwift, you have to have a dual recording. That means your smart meter needs to work, your trainer, and you probably have like power pedals, which is the second reading, which should almost match the power. So that will give a second reading to the officials if there's a way of controlling that. Yeah. I know, Kenny, e-bikes. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are great mountain bikes out there. You can just like put in a mountain bike and race if you don't broadcast yourself. I am very transparent on that end. But yeah, Canyon has some great e-bikes, and you know what? An e-bike is great when you have, for example, not the condition or not the power, or maybe you're out of age to keep up with the young guys. So if you're an older person, let's call you 60 to 70 years old, but you still want to ride out with your buddies which are in their 40s and they're still pushing 400 watts up the mountain. Yeah, you know what? Go to that meetup, hang out with them, go racing, or do a group ride. And when it's time to push, you push that little button, and it will, let's say, support you on the hills. And e-bikes are great for that. And it's how I see them being applied on like group rides like that. Other than that, there are more e-bikes which are more like cruisers. For my aunt, she still likes to ride, and if it's too far to the grocery store, she just pushes the button and it takes her home. It's great. Yeah, my aunt is one of them. I think my mom got one too, so yeah. And you know what? It gets the people out there, out and about. They move their knees, their legs, they breathe their lungs, they see nature. It's good. But you know, some out and about in traffic, which is a different conversation, okay? Uber riders, what are Uber riders? Uber riders, like all the people who are doing Uber, it's like their side income at the hustle, probably the way just like to chat people up in the car, captive audience. I'm making a buck by that. Good for them. Madeline, how you doing? I'm great, thanks for asking, thanks for coming in. Love seeing you here. Appreciate the follow, Madeline. Love it. Hope you get something out of this one. I'm trying to educate people or just transfer knowledge or experience I had here in Zwift, racing as well, group rides, as well as like, normal fitness questions, which will make you a better athlete or makes you healthy at the end. I do racing here. Yeah, I actually raced yesterday with my team in a crop ladder race. Check it out on the channels. It's quite competitive, I tell you that. I finished sixth with my in my team or in the race, but we won the race overall. As my duty was to destroy the other team with one big effort, and I did that. Very happy about that. Yeah, watch it back. It's on the stream. The last crop ladder race. Loved it. I loved it. So we have crossed the 32 kilometer mark and only 47 are left. Again, not sure I'm gonna do the whole thing. I think it depends when my wife comes home. As I feel she comes home, looks at the time, says, "You're already 2 hours on this bike." Gives me the windshield wiper. So yeah, want to be mindful of that. Happy wife, happy life, or happy partner, whatever. Here we go. I don't know how many people. Okay, 67 people we started out with. The group is now down to 32 people, which is normal. There is a dropout rate, as I said. People riding an hour, maybe hour and a half, maybe 50K. I would say next one is probably like 60 or 1.5 hour. 90 minutes is great. Good exercise. Thank you so much for subscribing. So what I tell people doing, Kenny, what I tell people to do when you do zone 2 rides, I think you should do that to keep your foundation, your fitness, is start low. 35 to 60 minutes zone 2 rides like this one here. And you ask me, what's zone 2? Zone 2 is, for me, it's a heart rate between 115 to 130 beats per minute. It varies from human to human slightly, or maybe more a lot. But in general, it's like that. Zone 2 is the zone when you are able still to talk. I'm talking to you right now, and I'm not huffing and puffing like this. That would probably mean I'm already in zone 3. So as long as I can talk relatively normal, like right now, I'm in zone 2. Or if you know it, look at your heart rates. Yep. And then again, if you start out with zone 2 rides, and I think you should do that 60 to 70% of the week to become better and faster in your races or in your like speedy kind of things throughout the week. 60 to 70% of the week you should do zone 2 rides like this. One tempo, one heart rate. Do that for a month and you will build a foundation to ride fast for longer in races. So I mean normally I push like 280 watts or sometimes 300 in races uh, consistently, and here I'm pushing just 200, which is okay, which is a lower level, but you want to push these lower levels for longer so your body uh, adjusts to that. Again, if you start out 35 to 60 minutes zone 2 rides for beginners, advanced is like 60 to 90 minutes, and then pros do that from like, let's say 2 hours to like 4 hours zone 2 rides to really penetrate the system. You won't huff and puff. So I haven't ridden in so long. That's totally understandable, Kenny. When I was younger, I used to regulate, do 20 miles days. Right now, I think I would huff and puff in zone 2. You would not. Should tell you why. Because your zone 2 is different than mine. When you start with riding, let's say riding on Swift, there's a little graphic up there under my at the top left. You see the watts, 170-ish watts, and there's a blue kind of like stripe. You see that at the top left? That stripe, the gray one is zone 1, the blue one is zone 2. It varies a little bit, but what you need to know is when you have a heart rate monitor, let's say on your wrist or a belt, and you have it connected to your phone or something, you can see after the workout, depends on your software you're using on your watch. I mean, Apple Watch does it automatically, your Garmin watch or whatever, but you can see for your age what your zone 1, zone 2, zone 3 range will look like. If you're untrained, and I know how old you are, but for me, I'm relatively trained, 40 years old, zone 2 is 115 to 130, in that range. If I train more, I will probably start pushing more watt in that heart rate zone. That's one sign that you're improving, that you all of a sudden can push higher wattage, but your heart rate is performing the same way. Another improvement is if your heart rate goes higher, okay, but you don't feel exhausted. So that means like your engine is running faster, but still smooth. without you being exhausted. So don't be afraid, but younger people, their zone 2 is probably between 130 to like 165. I think that's where Pogacar hangs out, and that's the elite level. And I think he is 26 maybe, 27 I would say. So, but this aside, try to like establish your zone 2 heart rate zone, and then you select group rides, which are probably in zone D, or there's another group ride that's called I think Bikers with the Holics or something, um, which is fun because you're staying in the group and it doesn't matter how hard you pushing the watts. As long as you're turning the pedals and you're putting out 10 watts, you're staying with the group. It's kind of like being in an elastic band. It's great. That gets you into the zone and into the group rides too. Are the watts measured by the pedal / wheel speed, or the actual power you are putting through the pedal? So the watts are measured based on what you putting into the pedal. I mean, the pedals are connected into the train, it's the same. So whatever you pushing down, boom, 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 you will see the watts increasing when I'm really pushed down with one leg right now, okay? And the watts will correspond with the gradients and my weight I have put into the software. That will determine how fast I am, but in general you will see heavier people pushing more watt than lighter people. There's an exception. When you become a better cyclist, you will get lighter and you're working on your power output, so the power you're putting out is grade 2. It's like 300 watts and you're weighing 60 kilograms. You will move very quickly from A to B. If you are 120 kilograms, you're weighing double and you're putting out 300 watts, it will probably take you longer to go from A to B, because the lighter guy has less kilograms on his pack, on his ribs, to cover the distance, even though both people pushing out the same wattage. Now pedal speed is different, I feel like, because if the pedal turns around, it's the RPMs, you know. Right now, top left, I'm riding at 82 RPMs, but if and I'm putting out 175 watts. If I shift, now I'm putting out 100 RPMs and do the same wattage, or close to it. I'm trying to. So, and it's the same speed. So, what I could recommend is the RPMs, and you will explore it for yourself. Is when you're doing these zone 2 rides, try to settle into RPM like a light jog. If I would go out on a track and jog around like super gently, boom, 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 it's kind of like that rhythm for me. So I can do that for a long time. But if I start sprinting, like super high RPMs, 120, I probably will gas out pretty quick. I'm trying, Kenny. Thank you, appreciate it. So I think the pedal speed or the RPMs There's a strategy which, when you're turning around the pedals more often, um, you don't need to push that hard. So if I'm gonna push, let's say again with 50 RPMs, I have to push hard to turn these corbels around. Big efforts, but I'm traveling from A to B. If I have smaller efforts, like high RPMs, I don't have to push it hard, but I have to push more often the pedals around. But at the end, it's the same kind of like wattage I have to like produce to keep up with the crowd. What's interesting with that software here, Kenny, is you have a little bit of like gamification, okay? You can, for example, steer. I have a little controllers here where I can go left and right, like you see here. I'm going left and right, which is okay if I stay behind the group. I go all the way to the left. Let's go all the way to the right here. I'm actually going out the wind. Okay? So I'm more exposed normally, which means I have to produce more power because I'm out of the draft. And another like gamification is there's that little like round power up. Right now I have a feather, and if I apply that right now, it won't do much. It will actually give, I think, makes me 10% lighter for, let's say, 15 seconds. You see that outer ring going around? Will make me 10% lighter for, let's say, 30 seconds. It's great for attacking on the hills to get a slight advantage compared to your competition. But on the flat, it doesn't really do anything. Any on the hill. On the flat, you want to have the drafting van or that arrow helmet, which makes you slip through the wind quicker, mainly for sprinting. And the draft then will increase your draft, which will make you push less wattage for a certain amount of time to keep up with the person in front of you. You know, maybe I go through the end, but yes and no. A group ride is a group ride. I mean, I just finished it. RSN is like a little banner and everybody goes through, and that's it because the time is over or we reaching the goal. Yeah, people sprinting, but it doesn't count for anything. Nobody gets points. It's just for your inner ego. But in races, oh yeah, it's a big sprint. It's a big sprint at the end. So, good question. How does mostly happen in competitive situations? So, a Swift race works in different ways, but in general, you're lining up at the pens. It's like a starting formation, and you will get categorized in groups like A, B, C, and D, or there's certain numbers. A is like very elite, B is, yeah, it's alright, C is like, say, amateur, and then D is like beginners, and you're racing in your category where you fit in the best in terms of like the competitive field. So the people who are in your pants are very close to your riding ability as you are. That might change throughout the time, lower or better, but you will start like that. So Swift starts are hard. So when you're in the pants, go in early. Like let's say the race is at 11 o'clock. You want to be there at 10:50, 10 minutes before there, and warm up. Warm up, because the first 2 to 3 minutes, everybody want to shake out the week. So what will happen is everybody's lining up at the pens, and as soon as the gate goes up, the power you are applying at that particular second when the gate goes up will be released, and you're shooting out of the pens. Some people start sprinting like 3 seconds before we will release, and as soon as they're released, they're just like flying off. And a lot of people do that. And it's hard for other people to catch back on and catch the draft. Just to like enter the race or be in the group, you know? So, yeah. So when let's say you have a 20-kilometer race, most of the time what will happen is first 2-3 kilometers are like you're huffing and puffing, and just like to stay in a group. And let's say you survive the first 3 kilometers and you're in a group. Most of the time, the speed or the power will settle down. So people will say, okay, that's the group, that's the race. We shake out the tree and all the weak are gone now. Only the strongest survive. So then it depends a little bit on the course you're riding. There's flat courses, there are rolling courses from the profile, or they're like mountain stages. This one is more like a rolling course. You see it at on the top right, there's that mini map, and it has these like green little dots there. And underneath these dots, there's little like spikes. They're like small risers, or like small little mountains. Nothing crazy. If there's a big mountain, you will see it. So this is basically like a flat or like a rolling course. So that's a great course to learn racing and learn the pack dynamic, how the draft works and so on. There are ELO ratings. ELO, you mean velo ratings? For like when you, let's finish the race, okay? So when you're on the race, there are certain profiles. Some courses have like certain sections which have a little like of a ramp in it. Most of the people will attack there, trying to shake you out. And then let's say like 20 people like started the race, you will probably end up with 12 to 8 people sprinting with you for the finish. It's a hard sprint. You need to time the sprint, learn or like get a finesse for it, like to sprint at the right time, to use the advantage of the draft from the people in front of you, to at the end have the nose in the front when you cross the banner. That's the race complete, okay? When you complete the race, Swift will have some kind of like ranking for you. It's called the Swift score. And based on the competitors you just left behind, or people who beat you, Swift will give you a score for that race. And if you do enough races, I think 3 to 5, you will find yourself in a scoring range. So you're always competing against people with similar scores. So the races are very tight actually. So it's good, it's fun. So you have to push yourself in racing. And when you beat most of the people in your range, then you will upgrade and race against better people, again with higher racing scores. There are different scoring systems. Zwift has their own. It's called Zwift Score. But then there are other scoring systems where people using this platform, Zwift, to execute their races, but the scoring is different because it's more like it's not just this one race, it's a race series. So, see, Tour de France, they're racing over 3 weeks. There are 21 stages, and there's general classification. And based on your ranking at the end, you will get scored. But in between, you get some scoring. That's the Velo score, and you can see that at swiftracing.app. Yeah. And then one more thing, another scoring system. It's called Zwift Power. If you start racing, go on zwiftpower.com, create a profile, and link it with your Zwift profile. Because most of the scoring systems will tap into that, and you see way more data from your competitors. The data I'm displaying here, actually, for example, I just have it more easy accessible for me. Do I prefer Zwift riding or road riding? You know what? When it comes to Zwift, the advantage is no traffic lights, nobody who's running you off the road. You don't have to look left and right all the time. You can just look down and just put the power into the pedal. You can watch TV on the side if you do group rides like that. The workouts are more consistent because you're putting out consistent power without start and stopping. Because when you're riding outside, you're exposed to the elements. That means, I know I'm not being totally against riding outside right now, but it means if you have a flat, for example, you have to get off the bike, prepare your front tire or back tire, put a new tire on. It starts raining. Oh, that sucks, yeah, you don't have the right clothing on, and you're 20 miles away from home. Sucks. Or you underestimate how far it was, and you're totally exhausted. So that are all points where you just okay, call quit on the bike, go into the shower, have a Pepsi, have a bowl of cereal or something, whatever you like to get back to strength, and watch TV. Instead of being out there, being rained cold on, getting the flu, You know what I mean? But riding outside, the opposite, is we don't get at Zwift, is the road handling. It's like going into the corners, the leaning, the physics. You feel it, obviously, you're exposed outside. Zwift is trying to do a good job with drafting and so on, and getting it very real. But yeah, steering, bike handling, braking, crosswinds, it's all stuff you will miss or you sacrifice going on Zwift because it's not there. So yeah, there's both worlds. And you know what, to be honest, Zwift always heats up in the winter time. A lot of people doing Zwift rides in the winter, which is great. Snows out there, rains, cold. That's the way to go. And in the summer, they're riding outside with their mates or have their races, like myself. I do Ironman races since 2004. 21 years now I'm doing it. So I've done races all over Europe, Canada, and actually I have waited so long that I'm just doing my first US race Ironman in Phoenix, Arizona and Tampa this November. So it took me that long to get down to the States. All good. So I love riding outside um, because you're in the bar and you can like lean in. The advantage drafting right now is not there. It's just in the game. But outside, you want to be in the bars, have your aero helmet on. Pay attention to your fluids as well as like nutrition, as well as eat Swift if you do longer rides. Cheers to that right now. But yeah, it all plays a role. I hope that helps. 40 minutes left for the batch. All right, let's go get it. Let's see if I have it or not. I feel I have it, but you know, sometimes Swift does some updates and they're doing more route badges, and I feel this one is a long one, so I'm not entirely sure if I have it. So I'll make sure I ride at least a distance and find out without looking it up right now. You can look it up in the settings if you have collected that batch already. So let's talk about losing some weight or fat burn. Fat burn happens in two ways. One way, when we talk about cycling, okay? And when we talk about cycling. So there's one way you can lose fat, and I think it's the more efficient way to do it, is doing zone 2 rides and keeping your heart rate low, as in the lower zone your body is tapping into your fat resources. If your heart rate is too high, your body needs to burn calories but uses energy from your glycose, sugar, like the breakfast you had, the Skittles I might eat, just to keep a little more sugar content in there. So don't have your heart rate spike if you want to lose weight. That's why cycling at zone 2 as well as running will melt belly fat quicker than anything else, I feel like. I know that swimming is great because you have no joint pains whatsoever and you're moving your entire body. Do that if you can. As well, that would be great. Kenny, you got it. Thank you so much for coming in. You take care of business, and I see you again. Chime in anytime, buddy. If you have any questions, any doubts, shoot me. a message or come into the chat and we talk it out. All right. I see you out there. Cheers, man. See you, man. And no batch. No badge. So that means I have it. I take it. next coming up. It's good getting off the bike and walk a little bit around if you can. I'm a little bit stiff, I'll tell you that. Jolly legs. Refill a little bit. Sure, want to have a little bit of water. $27. Yeah, you don't want to like stay away too long from the bike, because I feel if you do so, you come back and your sweat is so cold that you'll start freezing. Let's get right back in there. So make sure you hydrate. I mean, I have like, now I have a liter. What is this here? Half a liter? 1.5 liter actually of water I went through here. With electrolytes mixed in. Some BCAACC, I don't know what it's called, stuff. Pretty good. $83K, 160K, I would say. 160K is actually the amount you have to ride an Ironman. So that would be a good distance right now, halfway done. Now we reassess. I gotta like move my legs a little quicker now. Paris. Sabaris. I don't know. I apologize. I cannot pronounce your name. Sorry. Say hi. Hi. How you doing? How you doing? I'm doing okay. 15k to go. I'll be closing out 100 kilometers today on a Wednesday. On a Wednesday. Still on it. Still getting after it. And our training in progress. Zone 2. The long ride. 100k. Oh, smells good. Capitalized. Must be good. Go Julie. I'll go July. So when you think you're gonna jumping in the level of fatigueness, you want to start speeding lighter, turning the pedals more often, less pressure on the pedal, but that less is more often. So it will actually like rotate the muscle. Sometimes it just loosen up the muscle. If you're doing it in a pace such like this pace here, which could be for you an active recovery then. So you're actually doing something there. There you go, let's go into the train here. So what you'll see in these kind of like group rides, especially these longer ones, they're a chatty bunch. So obviously you can turn on and off the chat, but it's still fun. Here comes another bunner. Here we go. Let's get that fat out of the way. Oh, and we get an arrow. Dangling. Dangling is an art I have to perfect for sure. try to do that a little better. You can do it with smaller groups. Now we're down to 20. We started at 67. We were at 32. I think at a 71 kilometer mark. And I think that it's going to be it. Except we have some last minute dropouts. I have to say this tempo is like ideal for me now. Normally I would sweat like pig, but I decided to not do that. What I normally do on zone 2 rides is long pants, stuff like that, to soak up the sweat, no fans, and sweat it all out. Yes, that is growth. I call that. I do that. But having said that, it's good to really like recycle the whole water in your body. Take it out of your pores. Get that sweat out. And see how your body reacts. Because sometimes running outside and it's so hot that your sweat already evaporates. You're dealing with cramps and you feel the salt on your skin. You want to like check this out. You want to see how you react, how you deal with stress. It's all about like learning about your body in these longer rides. Play around with nutrition, gels, see what test. You might have to like screw the whole ride because you're getting cramps in your stomach. It's good to do that on Zwift. Don't be out in the boonies and pull over and sit in a ditch. Call your partner, who will rescue you with a very happy face and will probably tell you, I told you so. Now you want to have these failures because then you learn. You have to learn from failures. So now is a good time to like try to dangle off the back and see how this works. Just to finding the race dynamics. So that's how the bunch reacts. They are very consistent, so you can play a little bit better with the distance. How to accelerate on a small riser when you get sucked in. Like for example now when the group rides away from you. Still dangling here, still dangling. Now we're accelerating on the riser. And now let's see how you like push up that riser. The draft normally should increase when we're going uphill, so the group is getting slower, but you're making your way through or back on without big power waste. I saw people pushing 4.1 to 3. I'm 2.2 in the back. Chill on my cocktail here. Whatever it is, water with electrolytes. Here we go. 10K left. The race is on. Just kidding, it's not. We'll just chill on. I know they're saying 2.5 is what you want to aim for. It's good, but everybody's chilling here, so it's as many two now. If you draft smarter, you might be able to get away with 1.8. That you can all feel out. Yeah. Yeah, it's indeed getting easier. Nobody's really like pushing, no regrouping. It's just easy pedaling.
Ride on!
It's even like finding the right tail on the back end on the group to get the maximum draft is something I like to play with. Check this out, what will happen if I push the arrow button. Not much, I will come through. I will lead the race here for a little bit. Why not? My son would say, Dad, number one. Dad, number one. Another lesson I learned is when you're drafting through the pattern, just draft through it. Keep pedaling, even if you shoot out in the front. And race scenarios that will make other people actually need to push in the rear. So without you costing any other effort. So good. It's a way of measuring how resourceful you have ridden this 100-kilometer ride, almost in 6 kilometers. It's when you go after the ride is done in the Swift Power, check out that profile and check out the 20-minute power. And I'm hoping to see maybe 1.9 in average. No, not. It's probably 2.1. So it's 2.5 this ride. Normally you would probably 2.3, 2.2, 2.1. If I see myself under 2, I would be very surprised. But I'm hoping to see it very close to 2. That means I had the most wattage saving was riding in the draft the most. But you know, you have 2 coffee breaks in there that might like dilutes that data. But having said that, it's nice to see. My F scores are 58%. Everybody's a little bit higher. That is good. It speaks for my training. Here we go, average wattage. That's a current wattage, I feel like. Yeah. Wattage. Must be on 5 minutes, 2.3, so I'm like down there, which is great. I gave everybody right on, everybody is happy. down to 19 riders. One more dropped out. Okay. So what you don't want to do, oh, good job still off Munich. What you don't want to do at this stage, don't sprint for the first place, because this is already like a mellow pace, is a cool down kind of thing. You don't need to like ride like crazy and spike the lactate, rip the muscles apart by a sprint. So don't do that. It's just for ego. People will not remember, will not show up in the papers, nothing. I thought I would not drip, but you know what? Now I look at my right shoe and I'm leaking out of the right leg. Seems like I went down the right leg. Darn. Loosen up the muscles a little bit. Holy says, right on, Holly. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Six of meters. Now you see everybody like going nuts. Let's see. And the guy's going nuts here. This guy was going nuts. Yeah, you don't want to do that. What's happening here? Oh, you can see the again. Okay. All right. 2.0. That is a good watts per kilo. Love it. I think I'm gonna like write down to a little banner over there and then call it a day. Interesting. So figure rate. Hold on feature. Thanks to Pete. Cool down feature. It's gone. Bye. No cool down feature anymore. Alright guys, that's it. I'm not gonna make 3 hours. We call it a day. 102 kilometers is just fine. 103, sorry. Great, even better. After long rides, make sure you hydrate well. Okay, don't let the rest of the day like being a cramp day, okay? So take it easy and I will see you on the other side, okay? Peace out.